January 27th, 2023, I first want to thank all of my friends, family, enemies, people from Mars, Venus, and everywhere between for wishing me best wishes on my 55th birthday, born on January 26, 1968, in Bata, Rimuni, then Spanish Guinea. That being said, let's take care of some housekeeping. I'm going to endorse and recommend that you buy books, these following books. Herman Cohen's, the Mind of America, of the African Strongman. Great man, great U.S. Africa diplomat, Herman Cohen. U.S. policy towards Africa. Herman Cohen, great guy. See a pattern? Spying for America, the hidden history. Spying for America, that entails. Hint. Israeli intelligence. Big shout out to my German Jew grandfather. Michael Hayden, probably the best, and we wish him a speedy recovery. We support the Chertoff group, Mr. Michael Chertoff. We look forward to working with you down the road. The assault on American intelligence. Michael Hayden, get well soon. I was in Pittsburgh this past weekend thinking about you. And Miss Zita, cutout, CIA, middle person. If you don't want to have direct contact, you have what they call a cutout. I want to make it very clear, Mr. Wagner and all the folks, the Wagner group, stay away from me. I have zero interest in the Wagner group. The United States of America, President Biden, the European Union, leaders of France, Germany, Spain, and England, you need to stand up right now and declare that the government of Equatorial Guinea, the illegitimate government of Equatorial Guinea, is no longer to be dealt with. I'm making my first public statement as the leader of the trans-tribal governing body of Equatorial Guinea. You see my ambitions down the road, not my personal ambitions, but my ambitions for the country of Equatorial Guinea, is for it to be a beacon, a hallmark for democracy on the continent of Africa. Africa has rotten leaders who are only concerned about enriching themselves through corruption, kleptocracy, murder. None of these guys are the golden ticket. I'm not the golden ticket. But Mr. Kagame, Rwanda, you're educated out in Kentucky. You speak English. You can take on journalists. I'll debate any African leader right now. Not in terms of trying to assess my strength or weakness, but to tell them how democracy, what it looks like, up close and personal. Freedom, democracy, human rights, civil rights, women's rights, children's rights. These days of tribalism and killing and intimidation, over. We're turning a new page. Los Guineanos, es Gustavo Velo. Muchas gracias por las felicidades por mi cumpleaños ayer. 55 años. Pero ahora es el tiempo para cambiar la mentalidad de guineanos. No preocupado con tus tonterías de Tirolino, Ruslan, Tiroro, Obiang, Armengol, es fin. Los Estados Unidos necesita hablar en una fuerte voz. President Biden diciendo Guinea necesita un gobierno transicional es porque hoy es mi primera capacidad de el presidente de Trans-Tribal Governing Body trabajando con Armengol en Congo Ondo y otros miembros de oposición. Este falso gobierno es un chiste y es una tonterías. Guineanos, mira, yo es muy triste, muy frustrado, mira. Trabajando para cambiar. Es importante, no preocupado con ambiciones personalmente. Las distracciones de no fan, o qué persona habla español bueno, o ¿tú tienes hambre? ¿Necesitas una ocupación? ¿Necesitas un coche? ¿Hospital, medicinas? ¿La escuela? Cosa importante, no preocupado. A la persona pasa mucho tiempo en Europa, o Asia, o los Estados Unidos. Gustavo Vela es un guineano hasta ahora. No es un ciudadano de los Estados Unidos. Yo tengo un pasaporte, pero el cobarde gobierno, casi 17 años, no permiten renovación de mi pasaporte. Teodoro Biogo, Yahweh. Purification Ondo, Angwe, Yahweh. Miguel Ibuna, Yahweh. Pero Gustavo Vela representa Guinea en 4 Juegos Olímpicos. 84, 88, 92 y 96. Personas diciendo, oh, es un gabonés. No es un gabonés. Obiang y Macías es más gabonés de Gustavo. Mi madre nació en Corisco Island. Yo tengo muchos parientes en Gabón. Pero Victoria El Querogari es de Corisco. Y descansa en paz porque un año de mi madre pasé. Inglaterra, Francia, Alemania, los Estados Unidos. Necesita hablar una voz muy fuerte y unida. La República de Guinea Ecuatorial no es un funcionario Estado, es un failed state. Necesito cambio y necesito hablar con los multinationals, porque ExxonMobil diciendo si Tirolina está en poder, China necesito salir, porque tú quieres un continente de África, es un campo de esclavos. Yahweh. Los rusos, tú quieres un Wagner Group, y yo diciendo el jefe de Wagner, por favor no llámeme más, yo no tengo cero interesante con Rusia. Es importante de africanos, tienen una investigación, no permiten recoger el falso gobierno de Guinea ahora. Mira, Guinea vende uranium a North Korea, tiene polonium, ¿tú sabes polonium? Polonium es un venimo, mira, o bien. Yo tengo I challenge Teodoro Obiang's son, Teodorino, anyone in the government to debate, anywhere, Spanish, English, we can speak any. You're cowards. I'm sweating so much because I'm working hard for democracy, freedom, justice, civil rights. The U.S. will have no stronger partner than Gustavo Noel in all the world. Not because I have an undying loyalty to the U.S., which I do, but because I love democracy and I know they can work. It's not perfect. We have racism here. We have racial profiling here. I was racially profiled this past weekend in Pittsburgh. But the reality is, and I encourage the Green Tree Police Department to get your act together because you're a racially profiling entity. Green Tree, Pennsylvania, and your chief of police, and badge number 112. The reality is that as we get ready to make this transition to democracy in the Republic of Equatorial Guinea, we need all hands on deck. No one is immune. We're not perfect, we're perfectly imperfect. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Part of the reason I'm sweating, not because I'm a 4-time Olympian, because I'm sweating because these dictators have exhausted all the people of Equatorial Guinea and the continent. There is so much intellectual capacity on the African continent, not just the resources that everyone wants to scramble for. And once again, President Biden, you need to make a very clear definitive statement where you stand on dictators and none of these obtuse languages. I encourage you to replace your current White House press secretary because she's disastrous. And we can check all the boxes, but there are plenty of people who can do it with what Ms. St. Pierre is failing to do. That is to give a fair and accurate assessment as to the landscape of reporters. And I would always encourage Ariana Varas to have her credentials revoked. She was someone who was paid by the government of Equatorial Guinea, and you choose to be a lobbyist, Ms. Varas, or to be a journalist. You can't be both. You know that you're given money by the